Hey, bro.
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? What's up, bro? All right. So this is our brand new podcast. Currently, I believe we're sticking with the name Two Bros and a Bro. We can always kind of pick and choose pick and choose that. We can change that as time goes on. But for now, we're looking at Two Bros and a Bro. And so for me, we'll start off. I am Josh. I'm bro numero uno. Brian, would you like to introduce yourself?
Brian, bro numero dos.
And then the bro of the actually bro, Matt.
Bro Trey Seiko.
The bro trifecta. All right, so this show is pretty much just going to be about nerdy stuff in a way, where I'm going to talk about comics mainly. I might change it up a little bit here and there, but usually going to be comics. Brian,
We'll be talking about conspiracy theories and alternate history and ancient sciences.
Stuff that's not typically
The fringe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Matt?
And I'm going to be the wild card, bitch.
Yes.
I'm going to kind of talk about anything and everything, mainly movies and media, but it's going to be a little bit crazy.
Lots of pop culture.
Yes, pop culture for sure.
Go.
All right. So before we get started, does anybody have anything they want us to talk about at the gate? I mean, anybody have anything from this week that blew you away? Well, I mean,
I love you, Reed Richards.
Oh, thank you.
The world's a changing, that's for sure. Other than that,
it is. This was a big week. I mean, I don't want to go into it too much, but for right now, we got Joe Biden coming in as the president. Like I said, I don't want to talk about it too much. It did happen. So it's something at least worth mentioning.
Yep. Now Trump needs to just be a humble loser. He needs to be a humble winner, and everybody needs to just go on with their lives.
To be honest with you, I think that's what everybody wants, except for, Trump. Not everybody. Everybody on the left wants that. Everybody on the right pretty much wants the opposite. They want to recount and fight it. But, again, I don't want to.
I'm over it.
Yeah, I'm over it too, It's been a crazy week, though. It was a crazy week, especially with COVID and the way everything, the way they had to count everything. It's been a crazy week. All right, well, I'm going to get started. I'm going to do this week's episode as a spotlight on the writer James Tynion, who is currently my favorite writer that's going on right now in comics.
Spell it for the listeners, because I want to look him up.
James Tynion. Oh, well, James. I'm not going to spell James. Tynion, it spells Tynion, and he's actually the fourth, so IV, so James Tynion the fourth. I'm going to back up just real quick and say I'm going to focus mostly on DC. Not mostly on DC, but I am definitely more of a DC guy rather than Marvel. So I know a lot more about the DC stuff that's going on right now. That's not to say I won't ever talk about Marvel, but I'm definitely going to lean more towards DC. I also will talk about some like Image, some other maybe lesser known comic companies, but mostly DC. Actually, mostly DC and Image, I'd say. But yeah, I'm going to start with that. So James Tynion, he's currently going crazy right now. Like in terms of comic books, he's writing, I think, 6 different things right now. But I was going to talk about one that is just blowing me away. It's called Something is Killing the Children. It is so he is the writer, James Tynion. The artist is Werther Del Adera. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. But yeah, this has just been one of my favorite series that's coming out right now. So real quick, I'm gonna give you like the summary, the description they have for it. This is actually just straight coming from Image's website. So it says, when the children of Archer's Peak begin to go missing, everything seems hopeless. Most children never return, but the ones that do have terrible stories, impossible stories of terrifying creatures that live in the shadows. Their only hope of finding and eliminating the threat is the arrival of a mysterious stranger, one who believes the children and claims to see what they see. Her name is Erica Slaughter. She kills monsters. That's all she does, and she bears the cost because it must be done. Now that description
I'm hard already.
sounds a little cheesy though when they say her name is Erica Slaughter. It's a little bit cheesy, but man, it's seriously good though. Like every issue, by the end of the issue, I'm like just drawn in, just dying for the next issue to come. So yeah, just the little bit of spoilers for the first issue. The main kid's name is James, which ironically James Tynion, the writer. He plays Truth or Dare with some of his friends. The dare that they end up with is for them to all go out to the woods, and then they flash forward, and it's everybody but him is dead, like ripped to pieces. All these kids just torn up, ripped to pieces, and so he's sitting in a like an interrogation booth talking to the cops about what happened, and of course nobody believes him. And then I don't want to go too far into it, but then Erica shows up. Erica Slaughter. Here, I'm gonna real quick.
Yeah, show a couple clips.
This is the first issue. Let me see here. Yeah, first issue. This is a horrible glare because of the package it's in, or because of the. There you go. Something's killing the children. But this one is a better version of showing who Erica is. That is Erica Slaughter. She is beautiful and freaking mad woman. She's nuts. She's nuts.
Is that her coronavirus mask?
Actually, dude, she had it beforehand, and I don't have it with me, but I have a coronavirus mask.
I've seen a picture.
Yes, dude.
Yes, she showed me.
Which again, I don't know if I should plug this, but you can find those on James Tynion's website. Those masks.
Oh yeah, you should.
Mask. If you go to his website, I don't have the link on me, but if you go to his website, you can find those masks. A link to the masks, I should say.
Just like when's the release of the next episode?
Next issue. Yes. So right now they're on issue 11. This is the newest one, and the story is just picking up like crazy. It's just getting crazier and crazier. Real quick little fact is that it was actually originally written as a 5-issue miniseries, but it picked up and took off so well that they picked it up for an ongoing series. So it's like you can kind of tell he's kind of been doing it in like 5-issue chunks. So like each 5 issues is like a new little story arc, I guess. But it's still sticking with the overall story. Dude, yeah, it's just crazy. I think issue 12 is possibly next week, maybe the week after. I have not looked up where that is. Yes, but definitely check it out. They've got the first volume out. It's the first 5 issues. Second volume will be out in December, and that is issue 6 to 10. Definitely recommend checking it out. It's got kind of a Stranger Things vibe, but it's much more R-rated. Like I said, it's called Something's Killing the Children, and so this dude has no problem killing children, it's pretty intense sometimes the way he does it. And then
so blood, I bet.
Right, dude. Yeah, it actually is freaking crazy, man. Like it's really fun to read.
No, I'm excited about it. You were talking to me about it. I want to check it out. That's for sure.
What's up, Matt? Though, what were we saying?
Do you have anything maybe major label that's comparable to like?
Man, I don't. Like I said, the only thing I would say is it's got a very Stranger Things vibe. Just in the sense of that big, yeah, Hawkins Middle School, loving that shirt, man. But yeah, it's got a very Stranger Things vibe, just in terms of like the big monster. You know how like they seem to have that monster that they can see kind of, but nobody else can or whatever. But dude, they delve more into Erica's backstory in the later issues. But again, I don't want to go into all that. I just kind of want to tell you what it was. It's really cool though, man. Like every issue, I'm pumped for the next issue. Okay, so and he's also the writer of this comic. This is called The Department of Truth. This one is like still very creepy, not necessarily horror aspect, but it is very creepy. The idea of this one is essentially this guy named Cole Turner It says he studied conspiracies throughout all of his life, but he isn't prepared to find out that all of them are true, from the JFK assassination to the flat Earth theory, even reptilian shapeshifters, and that there has been this organization that has covered them up from the beginning, called the Department of Truth. To be honest with you, that's a description from Image, but that's not entirely accurate. It's not necessarily that they're all true. And again, this is going to be a little bit spoilery. The idea is that if enough people believe that it's true, then it becomes true.
Mm-hmm.
So like if enough people believe that the earth is flat, then suddenly the earth is flat. It's just really cool. So this department is actually assigned with, eliminating any disbelief or any belief in it being true. So they, like, for instance, they mentioned in one of these issues, it's only got 2 issues out so far, but it's been a great start. They mentioned in one of the issues that they've had to kill 2 Santas because everybody was believing in him. Everybody started believing in him again, so that so they actually had to kill 2 Santas. Big spoiler for the end of the first issue, and I'm gonna spoil it because I don't know if you want to not listen to this part. Spoiler. The head of the Department of Truth is actually Lee Harvey Oswald.
Huh.
Yeah, because you find out he was not actually the one that assassinated Kennedy. That's part of the thing. But man, it's like, what's crazy too is the first issue kind of led you into that, and then the second issue took this like crazy left turn because the main guy, ever since he was little, had this horror figure in his mind and his dreams called the Star-Faced Man, and it's literally a guy with a pentagram tattooed on his face, and he would have this horrible nightmare where this Star-Faced Man was eating a baby in front of him, and he like was told, he was told he was crazy, it was never real, there's nothing that could possibly be real about it. And so the whole point of the second issue is he's like, I gotta find out if this is real, I gotta find out if it's real or not. And I'm not going to tell you whether or not it is, but and then the last thing I'm going to tackle with him is with James Tynion is Batman. He is currently the writer of Batman in DC Universe, not the Detective Comics one, just Batman. He started on issue 86 and they're up to issue 102 now. So far his biggest chunk was the Joker War. He did a 6-issue storyline of the Joker War, which ends up having Joker basically have everything that Bruce Wayne owns. He overtakes the entire city because he overtakes Wayne Industries. He has billions of dollars, which also means that he has Batman's Batcave. So Batman gets basically stripped down to nothing, and Joker has all of his stuff. And it's an epic fight. It's an epic conclusion. It's an epic whole thing. Was like grand scale. They went huge with it, and it was really cool, and it was really good the way it turned out. He introduced, like, he's like pumping out these new characters. He introduced a character called Clown Hunter during that, because in the midst of, this is Clown Hunter.
Nice.
In the midst of Joker going crazy and taking over the city, he's got all his like Joker minions who are running around messing stuff up, and Clown Hunter, I don't want to go too much into him, but Clown Hunter's just this like mysterious kid who decided he was done with it. He decided that he was going to take matters into his own hands and start messing up the Jokers. And he does not hold back. He beats the shit out of them. He kills them. It's never like he's not Batman. He doesn't have his no kill rule or anything like that. He also introduced Punchline, which I did not grab an issue for that. Let me see if I've got one though. I'll talk about her while I'm doing that. What's that?
Is he a character?
Punchline is essentially Joker's new number 2. She is the replacement for Harley Quinn in a way.
I have heard something about that.
You want me to grab mine?
No, hold on. I've got something in here. I just don't know if I have that exact issue.
Got it right here.
Yeah, if you got it, man.
Good boy. Yeah, I got it.
I mean, are you talking about 89?
Yeah.
Yeah, 89 is the issue where she first gets introduced. I had an issue like that Clown Hunter one, which had her plastered all over the cover, but I don't see it anywhere. Let's see if I can. Oh, let me see if I can. Hey, wait, can I share my screen? Will that work? There you go.
Right.
But she's not actually on the cover though. You got
Right.
Joker, Harley, Riddler, Catwoman, Penguin, and then Batman in the back. Man, let me see if I got
I
one.
don't see this. I can't see your screen. That's probably my fault though, since I'm on the phone.
Oh no, well yeah, and he probably won't see it until he starts talking. Shoot. Yeah, I don't have one right now. This is the only thing that I've got available that's got her on it. This is a weird picture of her. Not weird, but this is not the best picture of her. Let me say that in terms of trying to get a good look at who she is. But dude, she's an awesome character too. She's like kind of the polar opposite of Harley. Harley's just chaotic and nuts, and she's more refined and like I don't know how to say it. But like I said, think of Harley as like chaos, and she's more, just straightforward.
Is she still subservient to the Joker though? Like
yes, she definitely follows Joker. Like she's not as obsessively obsessed over him the way Harley is, but which is part of Joker War 2, man. They there's a whole fight between Harley and Punchline because Harley and that's the thing too. Harley and Punchline fight, they duke it out, they don't kill each other, but then it comes down to Harley basically telling Batman, she's like, you're gonna have to kill Joker or I'm gonna kill the Joker. And Batman says, of course, like, I'm not gonna let you do that. And she goes, well, if you're not gonna let me kill him, then you're gonna have to kill me. And it becomes this whole big standoff thing at the ending. So I don't want to spoil how it ends, but that was the Joker War. They just passed that. That ended on issue, I think, 100. So they've done an issue 102 now. They're starting up the new storyline with this guy. His name is Ghostmaker, another new character from him. This is Ghostmaker, but apparently he is somebody from Bruce's teenage years. Don't know exactly who just yet because it's still going, but that's like I said, that's where we're at now. I'm not sure exactly. I think issue 102 just came out this past week, so it'll be a couple weeks till issue 103 comes out. Definitely awesome though. I love the way he just took the reins and made it his own thing. Like there was all this stuff going on before him, and I'm not gonna say I didn't like the writer before him, but the writer before him, just I feel like ever since he's taken over, it's gotten dramatically better. So I definitely recommend checking out his Batman run. So just to sum it up, Something's Killing the Children, Department of Truth, and his Batman run. He's also got a couple other ones. Like I said, there's one called Wind, W-Y-N-D. It's more of an RP, like fantasy style book. And what else? There's another one that he's got. Oh, he's also got his actual horror called Razor Blades, which is actually just running through his store. He's trying to start his own studio, which if you look at the way his name is spelled, it almost sounds like Tinian or Tinyan. So he named the company Tiny Onion Studios, which I just thought was funny. But yeah, that is actually, it's 100% through him, through his company. All the profits are for him. Well, not for him, but they go to the artist, the writers, everybody contributed. There's no third party, anything to it. So it's all through him. And that's cool. It's like just a big anthology book of horror, which is awesome. It's like, you get probably 6 or 7 stories out of it. And I want to say it's like 70 pages. And there's artwork in it. It's cool. It's really cool.
So when you say horror, are we talking like Stephen King or Clive Barker?
Mix. Like they've got a bunch of different people involved so that everybody kind of makes their own different stories. And some of them are more or Stephen King, and some of them are more Clive Barker. Dude, he has one where it's literally he did it, and there's in the like 3 or 4 pages, and there's only 2 words in it, but it's just the actual setting of each picture, the actual imagery of every picture and the way it plays out. Those 3 words at the very end, you're just like, oh shoot, okay.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think that's it for me. Probably, I don't know if I ran too long or too short, but well, whatever.
How much time does it say? How much time we have left?
No, and I didn't keep track. That's probably something to
I
do.
didn't-
got
Probably something you wanna do. What's that?
thought you said you got unlimited.
Well, no, I'm just talking because I would like to keep us around an hour or so per episode. So yeah, so I'm not sure if I went over that mark on my end or not, but definitely recommend checking him out. James Tynan is a fantastic writer, and he's doing all kinds of stuff right now. I cannot recommend him enough. That's actually what this guy, this little Killboy thing right here. Little Killboy, this guy. That's from his Razor Blades. Killboy is essentially a super hero, I guess, but he just murders like crazy. It's if you can see this picture, there's lots of lovely pieces of people down here. That's literally a fake pieces.
I love it.
Yeah, so all right, well, I mean I think that does it for me. I'm gonna have trouble getting this back up on my wall here, but yeah, I think that does it for me. Like I said, definitely recommend checking out James Tynan. All kinds of stuff going on right now. Great writer. All right, so with that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Brian.
All right, so gonna talk about giants.
Oh yeah, you told me about this, that you were gonna do this. That's cool.
So it's one of those things. There is archaeological evidence, there's historical evidence and all that. It's not just like local. It's in Japanese, Chinese, Germanic, Norse, Native American.
We're not talking about the New York Giants here.
No. But there are a lot of supposed Indian burial mounds. Most of it's going to be from North America. So I'll show a picture real quick. So all of those you see are from at least from the early 1900s to the mid to late 1800s, where there were news articles written about burial mounds in North America where they supposedly found giant remains. So obviously in the Bible, there's giants. I don't know if you've heard the term the Nephilim before.
Yes.
Okay. So Nephilim supposedly were from
Greek mythology too, right? Well, no.
Oh yeah,
Nephilim, and that's a frost giants, whatever.
The Norse, Norse and Roman and Greek, absolutely. They all have some sort of stories or whichever word you'd like to use, whether it's a story or historical artifact or they have existed in almost every continent, almost every culture. So I'm going to show something real quick if you guys can read it out loud for me. This is from Abraham Lincoln.
When Columbus first sought this continent, when Christ suffered on the cross, when Moses led Israel through, I can't read the end of that, Red Sea, nay, even when Adam first came from the hand of his maker, then as now, Niagara was roaring here.
You can't see the red part of it though. It's
okay. I'll read that part. Okay, it says, the eyes of that species of extinct giants whose bones fill the mounds of America have gazed on Niagara as ours do now. So one of our presidents, Abraham Lincoln, has said he has witnessed giant bones being pulled from the earth, which do you guys know what a Indian burial ground is?
Oh yeah, sure.
Indian burial mound.
Burial mound?
It's a mound, yes. It's almost well, by the way, when you were talking about the whole thinking things into existence, that's an actual thing too I could cover. It's called the Pygmalion effect.
Yeah.
It's whether or not you can
it's funny because they say that. Yeah.
Yes, you can speak it or think it into existence.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that's like an Indian burial mound right there.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
damn it.
part of the reason why I think you would actually get a real kick out of Department of Truth, I really do, because it's right up your alley.
Oh no, I agree. The idea that is real and not just something made up, and there's people out there that trying to suppress it, because that's exactly what I was going to talk about was, back in the mid to late 1800s and early 1900s, many of the giant bones that were found were given to the Smithsonian. Now, the Smithsonian even paid people for these. They have receipts. And shortly after that, the Smithsonian's like, I don't know what happened to it. We just lost it.
It's just
As a
awesome.
matter of fact, there were higher up Smithsonian people that stole some of those artifacts because they didn't want the American people to not know that it was a real thing, that they do have these type of artifacts laying around, and that nobody's doing anything about it. Here's another picture. God damn it. God damn it.
I see the skull though.
Okay. So the actual skull is a giant skeleton bone, and the little tracer on the right is the normal human skull.
Jeez. Yeah,
Now this does exist.
there.
It's out there in somewhere. This one's my favorite. One of my favorites. Now this was found in Africa. It's a fossil technically. It's just like a dinosaur footprint or anything else. Now the locals call this the footprint of God.
Holy shit.
They actually pray to it. They bring money, offerings, whatever else to it. Now, if you can tell, it is a foot. Mainstream scientists say that it is the natural effect of erosion, but other scientists say that it's made from granite. That's the hardest stone, and they say it's basically impossible for that type of erosion to happen. So when you want
just in case for those, 'cause like I said, we are going to do an audio and video. So for those who don't, who couldn't see it, it is definitely a foot-shaped hole, basically inside of a rock that's about the size of a person who's standing next to it. So that means the footprint is about the size of a person.
It is 4 foot and 2 inches tall.
Okay.
The footprint itself. Another little thing, here's a bunch of articles that were written back in the mid to late 1800s, early 1900s. It was very common. It was so common that the New York Times wrote about it. Many other news articles wrote about it, but now it's just kind of, it's hidden. There's nothing. For some reason, they don't want to harm Darwin's theory of evolution. So here's another thing with an Indian burial mound. That's kind of how they were made.
Okay, so, and again, we're looking, for those who can't see it, it looks like, wow, just a pile of bodies at the very bottom. Wow. And then just layers upon layers of, look like other bones?
There's one. Yes, they're animals,
Okay.
all those other type of things. There's one at the very top. Now that is the giant. Basically, everything else at the bottom would be his, the people that worship him to a point.
Okay. So the giant,
so it's kind of like
the person laid along the top of it all.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So,
and I'm going to read a couple.
Let me ask a question. So, are you working on do you think that these are still out there? Like that might be why they're not giving us the info.
Giants themselves.
Yeah,
it's possible. I mean, you got to think there's many places around the entire world that we haven't even touched yet. I mean, they find lost tribes all the time. A couple years ago, they found a tribe in the Amazon that when they saw the plane, they started shooting arrows at it because they were so confused. They didn't know what it was. They were scared, so they tried to kill it, and it's a plane. Okay. So getting ahead, since you asked the question, I'll go ahead and go there. Back in I believe it was 2013, supposedly in Afghanistan. There's no direct evidence except from supposedly U.S. Marines eyewitness accounts, but they supposedly there was a group that went missing. They sent another group out to go find them. Now, when they were rounding the corner of a ridge, there was a giant cave. Now, they didn't think anything of it when they saw the cave, but as soon as they kind of got close to it, supposedly a 12-foot tall red-headed giant came out with a spear, stabbed the first guy with his spear. The other one started shooting. The bullets were hitting him, but they weren't killing him because he was 12 feet tall and huge and thick and all that stuff.
Right.
And supposedly they ended up killing the giant eventually after 4, 5, 6 hour firefight. And after that, the body was disposed of. They were told, "You do not talk about this. This is the last you'll ever speak of it." And that was the end. Now, the locals do talk about giants. I don't know if you can read that.
Supreme Court ruling has forced the Smithsonian institution to release classified papers dating from the early 1900s that proves the organization was involved in a major historical cover-up of evidence showing giant human remains in the tens of thousands that had been uncovered all across America and were ordered to be destroyed by high-level administrators. Can you up a little bit? By high-level administrators to protect the mainstream chronology of human evolution at the time.
So you can see the Marine next to the giant Afghanistan man.
Right.
He is 7'10".
I was about to say, 7'10", that's still huge. Yeah.
Yeah, that's again, back a long, long time ago, everything was big. They had fleas the size of a house cat. That was just the way the atmosphere was, with more nitrogen than oxygen and all that stuff. And they do like the picture that I showed you with the stone with the footprint, that supposedly was done over 30,000 years ago. They when they date the stone, they think it was about 30,000 years ago. So that means it was a long time ago, back when the atmosphere was completely different than it is now. Where else can we show you? There's this. Supposedly, this is it's a surviving skeleton.
Oh shit!
At one point,
we're just looking at one giant skeleton next to a dude. Again, for those who can't see, just like an outline of a person.
Big bone.
Yeah,
I
bet he had a big bone too.
Oh my god! Could you imagine? This is from your state, Josh. This is called the San Diego Giant. Now, that was one of the first ones they actually had pictures of when photographs were a thing. It was Native American. The Native Americans around there actually believed. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and again, I'll just keep describing it. So this one is looks like a coffin, and there's two gentlemen, one on either side, and then the person in between is definitely probably twice their height total. Yeah, huge. I don't know, but the picture looks like it's probably from, early
it's
time.
It's like, late 18. I think it was like 1881, 82, somewhere around.
Like one of the first kinds of pictures taken.
Right. So the San Diego Giant.
Okay.
Let's see. Again, like I said, there's many ancient historical things. Like, this is what's called a cartouche. It's a clay tablet.
Okay.
Now, modern science will tell you that the big guy is big because he was smart. He had a lot of he gave them gifts to help them advance as a civilization.
Okay. So but big mentally.
Very big.
Yeah.
And again, you probably heard the name Gilgamesh.
Oh yeah.
So this is another one. This is another clay statue of Gilgamesh. So the whole point is Gilgamesh is holding a lion like it's a cat.
The house cat.
A real cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, that's like our ancient ancestors. Yes, we don't think that they were as smart as they were, but they built the pyramids. They built so many other structures that if there were giants, that it would explain a lot of it being built. If they
Right.
were 20, anywhere from 10 to 30 feet tall, they were able to build these things, pick up giant stones, move it from 15 miles away, and all that other stuff. So, uh, again, just more ancient Egypt. There's plenty of other
Yeah. Just
things where there are giant
what's
people
that
compared
called?
to the
What's that called? The
hieroglyphs.
hieroglyphics. Yes, hieroglyphics of giants and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure.
And the big thing when it comes to the cartouches and the hieroglyphs is like the giant people in them are always bestowing gifts. They're teaching humanity what to do, how to thrive, newer ways when it comes to irrigation, farming, all sorts of stuff like that. It's usually giants. Now, not only that, in Egypt, they have actually found actual sarcophagus that are huge.
Damn.
Now, unfortunately, when it comes to grave robbing, the bodies didn't exist by the time these were found.
Right.
They're there. There weren't there. Now they know that there are certain things made for ceremonial purposes. They know these were not made for a ceremonial purpose. They were made for a person.
Right.
And they they're 12 to 15 feet tall, huge, massive. Here's another one. I was going to read some of the articles, but I'm going to cut it quick this time. I'll cut it quick. We'll do that another time.
Yeah.
More of them where it's like, okay,
Well, and
these
again,
guys
I
are
get that. I'm not sure how much time we're doing.
right.
So
So it's like these guys are as tall as
Always.
giraffes. And basically, they're horses.
right.
You know.
Dude. So one of those pictures, just so again, if for those who can't see, one of those pictures was two guys who looked like they were as tall as giraffes, which is just, I mean, that would be insane.
So I'm going to show a couple more. Here's another one.
Oh my goodness. So,
Now, according to that, this
person's footprint inside of another gigantic footprint.
and it could probably fit. The person's foot could probably fit in that big toe.
Yeah, the big toe for sure.
And even have more room. So that's estimated if you do all the math and all that this person was 30 feet tall. The whatever left that footprint was 30 feet tall. There's another one. Supposedly that this person would have been 27 feet tall and some odd inches. So there is like fossil evidence of this as well. Again, these are very old, 10 to 15,000 years old. So the Bible, many explorers, not ancient explorers, Magellan, Francis Duke, when they all explored the oceans and found new continents, they all talked about how there were giant people there, anywhere from 10 to 17 feet tall, that they had encountered. Some of them were peaceful, some of them were hostile, some of them were cannibalistic, but they all say they experienced them. Here's another thing. Supposedly, there's a guy who went to Egypt and found a grave robber.
Yeah, now that looks like a turd to me.
A what? A turd? That's exactly what it looks like.
It does look like a turd, though, a little bit.
It's supposed to be a giant fossilized finger. Here,
I was about to say, at the same time, though, it does look like a giant mummified finger. Oh, dang, yeah, no,
so
nail and everything.
Yeah, you can see the nail. You can kind of see the bone where the flesh has gone away right there. So he took pictures of it. He had an X-ray of it. He went back to go buy it, but the grave robber had disappeared from wherever he had lived.
Oh.
So basically, like I said, I would read some articles from back in the day, but just keep your minds open. Think that there's definitely a lot of things out there we have no clue about. There's a lot of different aspects of our reality that we're not being told, and
I'm super upset that you didn't present a 2.5 foot long dong. Okay? I wanted to see a 2.5 foot long dong.
Well, I don't know if those fossilized, since it's not a real bone.
Actually,
but
I could claim a 5'6" one right here. 5'6" dong right here.
5'1" from the floor.
Yeah,
6 even.
All right,
that's
Brian.
all I got.
Yeah, no, dude, thank you. That was awesome. Stuff's always interesting to hear about. I love hearing about that stuff. It's cool. All right, Matt. Matt, was there anything? What were you bringing today, bro? What were you going to talk about?
Speaking of dongs,
Other than penises,
Oh,
you got
Mando,
Yoda there with you, huh?
Mando season 2 fired back up.
yeah.
Brian, I'm not
dude.
sure if you are following along, but I know Josh, you saw the first episode.
The first one I've not seen.
I haven't seen the second season yet, but
Oh,
Well, I'm gonna go
excited for the dark saber.
first episode and just get a little tidbit of the second.
That's fun.
All right, so we all know where it left off. Mando has been given this quest to take everybody green little fur ball back to the Yodites.
I like it.
That's kind of where it opens. So after a opening that's a winner take all 1v1, we learn that there's another Mando out there, and he's trying to get back to that Mando to hopefully help him with his mission. And it goes back to everybody's favorite bastard planet, Tatooine. Ooh, pretty fucking bastard ends up on that planet, I swear to God.
I was about to say, by bastard planning, you planet up the bastards, right?
I mean, Jesus. Pretty sure Jesus' son is going to be on there. Fuck. So
they gotta appeal to us nerds.
Hey, you know what? You could have everybody. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to be surprised if they. I can't say that. Hang on. Because I have a feeling that somehow Boba Fett's bastard son's going to be on Tatooine too, and he's going to get the fucking armor or some bullshit.
Yeah.
So everybody's favorite ravenous zombie's husband steps into the screen to be the second Mando. It's Mr. Let Me Sit on Your Face, Timothy Oliphant.
Santa Clarita Diet. That's what he said. A zombie.
I mean, dude. Well, hey. You know who doesn't want to be with a zombie? Drew Barrymore. Yeah.
I actually, dude, it's super quick side note. I don't mean to interrupt, but dude, I got so mad that they canceled it after season 3 that I never finished season 3 because I was so mad that I knew once I got to the end of that season, I'd be so pissed. I was like, nah.
That's Netflix, man. Netflix fucking cancels shows.
I know.
That should cancel, and then they renew others.
Absolutely
But
crazy.
anyway, I digress. You know, our Mando, he needs help getting the little green shit machine home. But the galaxy's hottest Fett needs Mando to help him save his town from the jaws of a giant sand bastard of a snake. You know, and to be honest, you know, let's just be honest here. You know, it's kind of got that Hills Have Eyes or the Hills Have Eyes hillbillies kind of sensation going on.
Totally.
This town's missing a few teeth. So, but the Hills Have Eyes hillbillies have got to get help. So they bring back Tusken Raiders.
Okay, see, I thought you were referring to the Tusken Raiders as the.
That's what I meant. That the Tusken Raiders.
I got it too.
Hills Have Eyes hillbillies. They're the Tusken Raiders. So they decide that they're gonna go at this giant snake, and I have to say that the sand dragon is fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
You know, the fight scene between them is really cool between the town people and the two Mandos is pretty cool. But you know, obviously the takeaway from the episode is the possibility that Boba Fett may be out there. You know, that we find his armor. So who knows?
Cool.
They're already talking about trying to do a spinoff with Timothy Oliphant's character. You know, at the end of it, you know, they defeat the sand dragon, and Mando rides off with Boba Fett's armor, which is really, really cool.
I mean, did you see the very, very, very end?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, did you see the very, very, very end?
Go ahead.
Like after the end credit scene's in, no, this is you, man. This is yours.
Go ahead, Josh.
I was just saying that he does show up.
I know. Thank you.
This is just the first episode.
Yeah, so Boba's.
So
I was trying
I'm not
to
sure
look
what's
at
going on, but Brian, I audio on you is cut out real bad. I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm sorry.
You went from sounding like you're right here to sounding like you're way off into nothing. Not sure. Okay.
And so where I was trying to go with that
Yeah,
before,
sorry.
John, I won't reveal some of the twist here, but I really hope we get to see more of Timothy Oliphant in future episodes.
You're throwing me off. I'm like, you're throwing me off. I'm like, wait.
Now, we can ask questions, but we shouldn't chime in.
Yeah, no, true, very true. Because I just killed that.
Anyways, I would definitely give this episode 4.5 out of 5, man. I mean, it was all around a great episode. Being able to see Timothy Oliphant, I love him and everything that he does. Justified, Crazies. We've already talked about. Yeah, I mean, dude, he's just a great actor. So being able to see him and bring a call back to Boba Fett was really cool. So I will leave you with a little tidbit for episode 2. I'll talk about it next time. It's I'm gonna say it's the frog egg eating bastard episode.
Dun dun dun.
So
So
how many episodes? Have there been 2 episodes now, or just one?
So we've got 2 episodes so far. Next episode dropping on Friday. It's they've talked about all the different things that they're going to drop in this season. It looks like they're following through with it. To my knowledge, I never heard anything about Fett being dropped.
I didn't.
Josh, I don't remember anything ever talking about Fett being dropped. So,
you mean like him showing up?
Yeah,
dude, I don't think so. At least I don't recall hearing anything about it.
Because they talked about what's her name dropping in the one from Clone Wars.
Yeah. Oh,
her name.
Blanking on her name. Yes. I did hear that.
That was big talk. That was the big talk about season 2, that she was going to drop in, but nothing about Fett.
Well, so and that's what I feel like Favreau's been good at, man. Nobody knew Baby Yoda was coming. Nobody knew Baby Yoda was coming.
Favreau, I'd have to say, of all the new source material, Mandalorian has definitely been my favorite.
I agree.
I do have one thing I hate about Disney, though, is that they do 1 episode a week instead of releasing the whole goddamn season so you can binge watch.
Then you would hate watching The Boys.
I really dude, the
Boys.
I'm looking into it.
The Boys, you just at the end of each episode, you're like, hit me.
Dude, we could do a whole episode on just The Boys, man. I love that show.
Great show. All right. So there's 2 more things I was going to talk about. Fear the Walking Dead. So I'm a big Walking Dead fan. I'm not getting into the new World Beyond. To be honest, it's very emo kid.
Is that out already?
Say what?
It's out already?
Yeah. So like that one's on episode, I think 4 as well. Maybe 5. But I mean, it's just, I think that I see where they're going. So what I think they're trying to do with World Beyond and Fear the Walking Dead is if you follow the Walking Dead comics, you know how it ends. And the biggest unknown answer is, who is the Western Alliance? And I think that that's what they're trying to do with World Beyond and possibly Fear. But one of those 2 shows is going to show what Kirkman wanted as the Western Alliance. So the comic book ends with, you have
spoilers.
The Commonwealth. Say what?
Said spoilers.
Spoilers. So you have the Commonwealth, which is based in Ohio, which is the biggest community, which has, I think, 50 to 100,000 people in it. You still have Alexandria. I think Hilltop. No, I can't remember. Hilltop got rebuilt after the Whispers, but you still have some communities in Virginia. Main one being Alexandria. And so like that's kind of like the Eastern Alliance, I guess you would call it. But the very last issue has Eugene. First off, it has Carl dropping off packages to Eugene, who is building the railroad that is connecting the Eastern Alliance, which is the Commonwealth, and the world that we know in The Walking Dead, to the Western Alliance, which has not been talked about at all in the comics. And so I think that that's kind of where they're going with World Beyond, possibly Fear the Walking Dead, which that excites me. I think that I'm waiting to see how World Beyond goes, but Fear the Walking Dead definitely has been getting a lot better. It struggled because they kept killing main characters off. I mean, it was rough. And then they brought Morgan over.
I love I like Fear the Walking Dead more now. I like the Walking Dead.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I mean, when they kept killing off characters, and then they brought Morgan over. But I'm telling you, like, now, man, this new season is great. And honestly, it has my favorite moment, honestly, across the whole series. And that's saying something because I'm a diehard Walking Dead fan. They have the reunion of Dwight and Sherry. And I mean, it's really huge. Like, Dwight finally gets back with Sherry. I'm not going to tell you what happened last night because there's some other stuff going on with that. But that story, it's not going to be covered the way it was in the comic because she eventually takes over the Saviors, and Rick actually has to kill her because of there's a whole big story right there. But it's not going to go the way it did in the comics. But they're taking aspects of it. But seeing them back together. I mean, it was really, really awesome to see because of how devastating Negan was and Negan is and Negan will ever be. So I definitely think that Fear the Walking Dead is making a good comeback. I'm still not convinced on World Beyond, but who knows?
It's still fresh. Give it some time.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, Fear the Walking Dead, the first season was and I mean, it's started to grow. It's grown a lot better for me. So maybe this first season, but
give it some time. You might change your mind.
I mean,
you might not. It might be horrible.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, the rumors are out there right now that, is Andrew Lincoln going to come back for the end of the series? He's
got his own TV. He's got his own movies though, right?
Yeah.
Right. So this is what I think they're going to do. I think that Andrew Lincoln's going to come back in like a flashback scene or something.
Right.
Because they can't explain what's going on with World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead, and the movies, and having him back in person. Like, it would blow everything up. So I think that they might bring him back for like a flashback moment or something, which still would be pretty cool. Being able to see Andrew Lincoln as Rick would be great. So that's that. I love Walking Dead, so I'll talk about Walking Dead quite a bit. But the last thing I have to talk about is a show that neither one of you have seen or heard of. And I think that both of you would like. Who likes?
Super quick before you start, I want to interject back into my thing real quick, my comic stuff. The Walking Dead did end, but it was originally all made in black and white, and they have recently started re-releasing the comic in color called The Walking Dead Deluxe. So it's the exact same comic, but it's got a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, extra stuff, and it's in color. So they're on issue 2 of it right now. So, sorry to interrupt, bro, but just wanted to throw that out there. Issue 2 right now. Issue 3 will be coming soon. Just throw that out.
I got issue 1. I need to pick up issue 2. I'm gonna write that down.
You did grab issue 1 though?
Say what?
I was gonna say you did grab issue 1. I got an extra copy here if you decided that you didn't get it, or if you weren't able to get it.
Actually, I need to go figure out. Is that upstairs? Okay. So, anyways, so there's another show that there's 2 shows that I've been starting, but one of them that I've actually watched a couple episodes, so I'm going to talk about that one. But one of them that I've only watched part of the first episode is Harry. I think that it's the guy who created Deadpool.
Okay. Robert Liefeld, or are you talking
the movie? The movie.
The movie.
And I want to say Harry. I've only seen a little bit of it, but the show that I think that you guys would really like. Do you guys like Ghost Hunters?
Like the show?
I used to. I
Sure.
kind of grew out of it, but yes,
Whatever
I
that
like
guy's
I
name
like
is.
the premise.
Zach Baggins.
What if-
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But-
But
What-
I mean, the
he's
show's
very
all right.
douchey.
The show's okay.
What-
He's
What if I told you got a chance to see Frost and Simon Pegg in a Ghost Hunter show?
Oh, I
Truth
know.
Seekers.
Yeah.
I have
Seekers.
watched. I watched the first episode so far. That was it. But
So,
I haven't seen
yeah, so
anything.
I like British. There's some British stuff that I can't get into, but I do like quite a bit of British
it's kind of
shows.
hit and miss. It's kind of hit and miss.
Yes,
But
they
when
got
it
weird
hits,
sense
it
of
hits good.
humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say one thing that I've always been consistent on is anything with Simon Pegg and Frost, man.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is really good. It has its dry moments, but it's really good. And Simon plays the
Boss,
manager,
right?
yeah, the boss or the manager of a telecommunications company, and Frost plays his best installer.
Vegans.
Yeah, his best installer, and
The Wi-Fi installer. That's all he is.
Yeah.
He's a Wi-Fi installer.
yeah, Wi-Fi installer. And I mean, it's you got to like British humor to like it. You got to understand that there's going to be some dry humor, but it's all around, man. It's another Simon Pegg, Nicholas Frost crossover. I'll take those all day long.
Check it out, definitely.
And again,
So, yeah,
Truth Seekers.
Definitely check it out if you
in
get a
case somebody
chance.
doesn't know it yet.
So definitely check it out if you get a chance. So
And that's
Yeah.
on Amazon, right?
that is on Amazon. And then the God, I wish I could remember the name of the show. I think it's Harry. It's by the guys who did the Deadpool movies. It's a one-word name. I think it's Harry. It's about this kid set in Boston. And I mean, I remember the trailers, the opening scene, and he's walking along, and these two older kids start talking trash to him and knock his bike over. So he picks up a snowball and chucks it at this window and breaks this guy's window. And the guy comes out and is like, "Who the fuck just did that?" And he's just kind of standing there, and the guy throws him up against the snow and beats the shit out of him.
No.
Goes back into the building, and the kid gets back up, gets another snowball, and breaks another fucking window.
Damn.
And that's the opening scene. So like it's I've only seen parts of the first episode because I fell asleep, but that looks pretty promising as well. So I would definitely do Mandalorian. If you're a Walking Dead fan, I would definitely come back to Fear the Walking Dead. And if you're a Simon Pegg and Nick Frost fan, man, Truth Seekers is for you,
I would
man.
say, or even just like a paranormal fan, really. 'Cause,
Yeah.
it's good.
And I mean, it's got some really
I only watched the first
sometimes good,
episode, and
sometimes
it was
bad effects.
yeah,
but-
right. Well, and I only watched the first episode, and I was kind of like, it got kind of freaky, like it got kind of
Yeah.
like, creepy a little bit. Like I
A
even
little spooky.
okay.
So yeah, that's what I got for this week's episode.
Nice.
So you're saying I need to get Amazon Prime,
Well,
Boys, and now
Boys
this.
too. Yeah, dude. If you haven't watched The Boys yet, and Matt over there deep throating his lightsaber.
That's what I got.
No, but dude, honestly, at this point, if you haven't watched at least some of The Mandalorian, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I need to do it.
But dude, yeah,
Yeah,
it's good because I watched.
Brian,
What?
if I were to pick one, yeah, I mean it'd be a hard pick, but I would say Amazon Prime right now.
They're kind of taking off.
because-
Man.
Yeah, because of The Boys, because of True Seekers, there's and like I said, that show, I swear, I think it's Harry. Can't remember the name of it. But I mean, don't get me wrong, HBO Plus is gonna have fucking Snyder Cut. You've got Netflix.
Right.
Netflix is gonna be having
Right.
season 4 of
Yeah. So
Stranger Things.
Yeah. And so just to touch on that, we're actually
Mando.
everybody who's listening or watching or whatever, we are not separated due to COVID, even though that is going on. We're actually separated because while we're all three originally from Indiana, this guy picked up and moved out to California. So
Kelly.
Yeah, tell him why, you dirty weed smoke.
because I'm a liberal hippie, and I mean clearly from the shirt, you know.
No, you went out there for Comic-Con.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. San Diego Comic-Con was like a life dream of mine. And the moment that I first got to go was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I would spend if we
I'd like to make it out there
a
one
Comic-Con
time.
episode, I feel like I could make it run for 4 hours, man, just talking about everything. But I'm not gonna do that. It was truly one of the best experiences of my life, though.
Hey, Josh.
Every year.
Thanks for ruining my spoiler. That was trying
Oh, for Mando, bro, I didn't.
that was trying to cliffhang.
Like I said, we're learning. First episode. It was a good
Well,
first
and-
episode.
And it's my bad too, because like I said, time crunch right now. I have no clue
Yeah.
how close we are to time. I think we're hitting about the
Oh,
hour.
we're well over
I
40
think we're
minutes.
A little bit over, yeah. No, we didn't. No, we're getting close to hour and a half, so we need to cut it.
Easily.
But
You can edit. You can
I
edit.
know, and we
Exactly.
and yeah, and then again for
Just have
future
5
reference.
minutes.
Well, for
throw it in the
future reference, I'm
microwave.
going to actually set a timer. I'll actually set, when we start, I'll set how long each person has and all that. We'll get it down. But for this, I
Just
did.
have to keep throating the lightsaber the whole
Was
time.
fun. You're definitely my God. But this was fun, guys. This was definitely cool.
No, it was.
Absolutely.
It was. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. So for the last
Sign off.
was
Now
it
we
the
need to sign
intro
off. We get
or no?
Hey,
well,
how
we got
about-
an
how about
intro.
Goodbye, or
There you go.
Suck
For
it,
now.
suck it, suck it.
What do you think?
Let's do that.
Sure, pick a word, Josh.
We'll just end it. Bye. Bye.
For now.
Bye.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Seriously though,
Hopefully we can do it again this weekend.
and that's
We'll
the
discuss.
way.
try to
butthole-
keep them up every week. That's my plan. So,
Yeah. At least every
That's-
week.
all
the
right,
way
guys.
the butthole crumbles.
That's a
Yeah.
perfect spot to end it. No, we'll just call it
All
that, guys. All right, guys. Later.
All right. Peace.